Traditional, attention hop on number one. Hey. Hey. Up. Hey. Oh.
That's why we can't go hard, crazy.
Oh.
Okay? Especially somebody big. You gotta have.
Break a leg today?
What's up?
What's up with your yoid eyes? You got one foot pointing toward the door, you got one foot pointing somewhere else, and you're leaning to one side. Hey.
You set the pace. So round up.
Up.
You set that pace. You go crazy, it tells me if I can go crazy.
Heat.
Right?
Go. Rope. Heat. Hey. Good. Two. For the tension hop over, there are, without counting them, a lot of them where we do this second kind of scooching down block. No? Don't let the hand and the foot get too separated. It's not step down block, and it's not down block step. Secondly, do not let the momentum of your movement lead you back. That's not what we're doing. We are shifting, still in this front stance, just bring the foot back. Why? Right, guys, right on top of it. Last thing I want to do is lean back. Why else? Follow up, okay. More specific.
Follow up with an attack with forward momentum.
How does the timing that I just described help with that? That's the question.
Yeah, that kind of is basically.
You're getting both things done in the shortest amount of time.
Okay, I'll buy that. What else does, well, okay, let's make it more specific. What does this do for us? Well, that's why I still want you in that front stance. So yeah, you still want that hip into it. But there's something very specific that this is going to do for us in this particular vein. Remember that one? M-A-A-I, my height. Whatever, anybody, you would? Talk about myself here today, or what, you know, so help them out, all right, it's got, the silence is killing him.
Distancing.
There we go, combative distancing, all right?
That's right.
There are two types of distancing in a fight.
Want my chicken scratch here?
There's combative distancing, and then there's the physical distance between two people. They're not necessarily the same. For those of you that have heard most of this speech before, what determines combative distance? It's modified by the weapon, yes. But there's a specific thing that sets your combative distance. That does not change with the weapon. The weapon modifies it. See, you guys are describing combative distance. That's what I'm saying. What determines the combative distance? If Sensei's standing there and I'm standing here, there's the physical distance that I can measure. Right? And that just is feet, inches, meters, whatever. What determines my combative distance to him?
So, well, if you wanna come in, I mean, you can still join in and,
Okay? Let's do this.
there's no problem with that.
Can I hit him from here? Absolutely I can. Can I hit him from
No.
here?
Rear leg.
Alright.
Changed, so.
The big toe of your rear foot sets your combative distance. If I'm here, if I can hit him from this distance, I can manipulate this front foot all day long, which manipulates the physical distance between the two of us, because I am now farther away from him. Physically, if I took a tape measure, I'm physically farther away from him than I am here. But combatively, I have not changed
Thank
anything.
you so much.
So these little scoochy down blocks here manipulate this. It moves me physically without changing my combative distance. Combative distance would only change if you reset the rear foot. Now my combative distance has changed. You can play with this a lot when you spar, especially if people kind of sort of understand this and you like to kick. You can slide that foot, as long as I don't set it down, I haven't changed my distance. The second I set it down and shift my weight, I've changed my distance. You sucker them in with, oh, you stepping back, nope, sorry. Down low. All right, again, tension hop floor number one. Yes, us, eight. Eight. Up. Eight. Go. Rope. Seat. Hut. Two. Two. Hey. Good. Tension hop on number two. Hus. Eight. Eight. Up. Eight. Go. Rope. Eight. Hut. Good. Good. Eight. Eight. Up. Eight. Go. Rope. Eight. Hut. Good. Good. Hey!
What I need to see from, especially number two, because we are going back, alright, is a little bit of this movement of that punch. Alright, we're going over here, I do see this. Alright, but I don't see that. Okay? I wanna see a little bit that you guys can show me that you guys know how to generate that power. We have to be kind of visual a little bit, alright? That you guys understand that formula that we put over there about force, mass, right? That's acceleration. That we understand that, so even on going forward, okay? If my timing of this, if I'm stepping forward and I do the block, alright? And I do my punch without stepping forward, I gotta add something to that. I gotta add body to it. And then pull back a little bit, alright? So we gotta get the hip involved in these, especially on the first two. 3 and 4 is a different story, alright? Because the way you're at and your hips are locked up a little bit, alright? From front and back, you gotta have that. I'm gonna exaggerate the move, but I gotta see a little bit of this. You saw that? That's exaggerated, but it's gotta be something coming back into it. Remember that the first, all of these have an expansion and contraction of the stance that he was talking about. Right? So we come over here and there's punch, then he scooped back, all right? That scoop back, basically, we just did an introduction. The guy stepped in the punch, you blocked and punch. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. So after I do this, 1, 2, I'm letting myself be able to come back again and punch again because of this what you're talking about. This is expansion right here. All right? 1, 2, 3, and I can come back. When I go back, 1, 2, 3, and I can come back. All right? But it might not be done yet. This?
Listen.
All right.
Hold on. How many people here have ever hit their funny bone? Huh? Yeah, okay, everybody. When you hit your funny bone, what happens? Where does the pain go? Goes up the outside of his arm, right? Your little finger-ish, maybe the last 2 fingers, right? Because that nerve travels right up that side of the arm. Just under your wrist, I don't care how big your wrist is, including Sean Herring, you feel right here on this pinky side of your forearm, about 3 fingers width from your wrist. What do you feel there? Nothing but bone, a little bit of skin. All right? And that same nerve that makes your funny bone go is right there. So those of you that are insisting repeatedly today, driving me insane, driving this down block as a hammer fist, you haven't lived until you think your funny bone hurts. You light that nerve up right there on somebody's skinny little Sean Haney forearm that is literally like a piece of rebar. It will light you up in a heartbeat. There are a lot of reasons that Shikuru twists. Protecting these soft parts of your body are one of them. Everything that we blocked that goes to the outside meets the outside of your arm, where all this muscle is and padding. Then the twist. Even if I am gonna hammer fist block something, I am still gonna twist it. This twist to a hammer fist is infinitely better than this hammer fist. No. Protect here. You know, the ones that come to the inside, they catch on the inside with all this meat in it. Breaking, blocking, striking that way. No? Twisting, always twisting. Again, number 2. Ay! At least pretend like you heard what Sean had to say about the hip. Ay! Up! Eight. Go. Row. Three. Punch. Two. Good. Head jump. Number 3. Hey. Hey. Up. Off of the punch. Don't overthink it. No, you're overthinking it, trying to turn it into something else. Just let it pull in. That's it right there. Makes your life easy. Up. Hey. Oh. Oh. Hey. Hey. Good. Good. Ah. Hey. Hey.
All right. Get into a horse there. Get into the, do the block. Yeah, do the block. Right there. Right into that block. Good. All right. Now, when you throw that punch, right from there, in a good horse stance, all right? How much hip do you think you can put in there? Throw that punch, right? punch, right? There's something about the horse sense that locks it up a little bit this way. Okay? So what do you have to do now in order to add power to that? Without keeping the stance.
Strong hinky tape?
What was that again?
Strong hinky tape?
Strong hinky tape. So now, because we are limited here, then we gotta add a little bit here. And that's what the hinky tape does, alright? So it moves that shoulder a little bit, so we can have a little rotation in there because of that. And I think that's why the fancy show was turned this way, and now I can do this, and I can't do it this way. Right? So, if you are here, then you really have to add, it's very important that hinky tape, it's very important that load. Alright, and if I block here and my load is here, and I'm gonna punch this angle, look how this is gonna go like this. He's gonna laugh at me. So I'll have to reload it. So now, when I'm going to go this way, my elbow is behind that wrist. So after this block, this load, this hinky tape is very important too. So now it can point and it can have direction and power behind it, right? If I go over here and I load here on the block, not only this block is gonna make weak, but now this hand is not in no position to hit you correctly. Us? Back again. Hey! Hey! Up! Hey! Go! Rope! Lee! Hey! Good! Good! Number 4. Follow along with my, you do it. The same thing you do for number 3. Go in the opposite direction, instead of palm heel, middle inside block. Everything else is the same. Just go in the opposite direction. Hey! Pull away. Good. Hey! You're way overthinking it. You're just way overthinking it. The hand that's out there in the punch, just dump the elbow. That's all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else. They finish my kids.
Hey! Hey! Up! Hey! Go! Rope!
You want to take some? You can.
Hey!
Half the butt.
Hey!
Got a half hour left.
Good!
6:25.
Good! Yeah! Hey! Hey! Up! Cheek! Go! Rope! See? Hey! Good! Good. The tension hop up partner drill, the continuous. On that one before? On that one yet? Alright, questions on those 4 tension hop ups?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're gonna do the partner drill, the static partner drill. For the tension hop up, the uke, the person punching. Odd numbers, you're punching right hand. Even numbers, you're punching left hand. So for this, to start with this first one, you're just gonna step back and do a left down block. You're gonna step forward, punch. They're going to block, punch. You're gonna give them time to do that. Once they throw that punch, you're gonna throw the second punch to give them that little scoop back. Give them some impetus to do that.
Yes,
All right, front row, turn around, face rear row. Window side, step back, look right. Okay, I'm not gonna count these. You guys are gonna punch, do it 10 times. Once you're done, my side is gonna punch. The other side is gonna be target. Almost?
Yes.
All right, how'd you win? No need to blast through these. I'm sorry about it. We're just gonna serve it. This is pretty cool. Move. I want to add some up.
That he only does a couple both sides only on some,
Okay.
and then single sides in the middle.
Kind of.
And then you see the pattern like area.
Okay.
Number one or?
Just number one.
Okay, the second one, I want you to hit them, the second one, like that.
Oh, look at that, makes a difference, do it for more. Alright, now, I want you to go and do the same thing. I want you to block them deeper in here, on the center. I want your form and his form. Oh, that better?
Yeah.
No, I always want you to still have, you don't wanna put your weight in the back, going backwards. You still wanna weight forward, okay? Alright, that's it.
Okay. John brought up exactly where I was going with it. Next, I'm just gonna add something to what Shannon was talking about. On what plane does the down block travel on? Does it travel on a straight vertical plane?
It's a diagonal, well, I would say.
Okay. Agreed, define the diagonal for me, that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, if I block straight down my body, vertical plane, is that a good down block? Here. Okay. If I block straight out in a horizontal plane, is that a good down block? Yeah, it's gonna hit him right in the face. Okay, it's gonna turn into a hammer fist to the face, is what that's gonna turn into. Okay, so for it to be a down block, like in tension hop number one, where, okay, we know 0 is a bad angle, 90 is a good combative angle, but it's not really a down block. So where in here about is that sweet spot?
45 pounds, angle here.
About 45?
Okay, whatever in doubt, 45, right?
There you go. Okay. I would agree with that. Because it's gonna do something that I particularly like to do. I just stick a punch out. Okay?
We are happy.
We talked about Okay, if I do this, I'm gonna miss, I'm gonna hit. Do that, depending upon my distance, I might miss. So if I do about 45,
And this is.
that puts me up into his elbow on most people.
And then her sister.
A lot of good little pressure points in here,
she just moved back to-
plus
Her sister. is the
it
one
gets
that-
me earlier
Did we
in his travel.
have a place in the already? No.
Combine that with, I'm not looking at the
We
punch,
partnered with St. James and we did.
just diffuse focus, right? So as I'm seeing it, I wanna catch this early in his travel. Once you guys get used to this first one, this first tension hoppo, one of the reasons, in my opinion, that it steps in is to get this early in its travel. The, I was mentioning earlier, force equals mass times acceleration. What increases acceleration? Distance. The longer he has to travel, the harder he can hit. If I can shut it down early, I'm better off. If I'm looking at it, it's gonna hit me before I even get there.
I don't have a.
Guaranteed, trust me, I tried that for years, couldn't make it work. So I finally listened to Han Chin and did what he said.
Studying under Sun St. James, and, in 2003.
East West.
when we first
Alright.
met,
Now,
we saw-
depending upon how you wanna down block, that's up to you.
and they
But waiting until wrist to wrist,
and
no,
then
what was in the, how did Russ call it? He described it to me and I forgot the word.
we're training at the
Remember what that was?
Wrist to wrist part?
Well, no, it was like 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, leverage points.
Leverage points.
Correct. And so.
Same points? No. I wanna be one up, I think is how it was. So, here, even better, get in here. This is a fair fight, I don't want a fair fight. No. I want up in here.
Yeah, would you use in some cases, your forearm against his wrist?
My forearm against his wrist, this, something like this.
Yeah, like your big forearm on the weak part of his wrist.
If I was going to wrist lock him.
Okay.
If I was gonna do something like that, I would. For impact,
For impact, yeah, so like your meaty right here. Yeah.
I would say maybe, depending upon what I was doing, but it would also involve me shifting. This, I would, from this kind of, no, I don't see that. But if I'm gonna shift, I can see me doing that, yes, absolutely. And then, like he reached out and grabbed, and I just wanted to wrist lock him real short, and then, yeah, and my forearms. Then that. So, Kira, what did I just do to wrist lock him here? If I'm here and I want to wrist lock him this way, what did I just do? For those of you that wanna know why this hand is here. I digress, either way. Alright, we did number 1. Number 2. So now, punching side, he's gonna punch left hand. Same thing, you're gonna punch, they're gonna block punch, you're gonna pause, and then give him the second punch. Like you meant.
Let's still hit him though.
Go back and make it.
There you go.
Baseball bats. Oh, sorry. Over there.
That's the good part about karate. It's always your turn next. Whatever happens, you get that immediate payback. Hey, sometimes. Sometimes you write it down.
Sometimes they, yeah, cause sometimes they wait until you're the second person. You'll get to come back again on that one. You're doing wrist to wrist over there. Wrist to wrist, no wrist to wrist.
Yes.
Yeah, no, no.
Six.
They gave her a long time ago. But then on the other one, I corrected, and that's when she came in today, and I told her today. And then she was, oh, this is. I mean, she's got some basic, pretty good basic. All right, good work, good work.
Guess I'm next. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
I was gonna say something, but.
No? Okay. Alright, well, he's not going to, I am. We talked about it before. In a two-person drill, who's the most important person?
Okay.
Uki. Why? Because he gets to screw up two people, right? So, the person punching, they get the chance to screw up two people. The person just doing the technique gets a chance to screw up only one. So you gotta do the right thing. So those of you that are wanting to throw off or throw short, please stop doing it, it's driving me insane.
I like what Kenny said. Kenny said, I like to feel the danger of the fist coming at my face so I can block it. I think that's
I like that.
I like that.
Take that.
I like that.
The other thing, okay, I am sure that there are dojo out here out there that will disagree with me. I am never been a proponent of, row out in the middle ocean, kick your rear end out of the boat, teach you how to swim, right? Everybody's gotta work together to train one another. Right? If your partner's getting a little ridiculous and you're not learning, you're just panicking, you need to say something. Hey, let's slow this down. Because that last series, I'm starting to kind of get that vibe where we're kind of, okay, threading that ragged edge at a certain point is fine, once you know what you're doing. But in basic learning, there's nothing wrong with going slow. To go along with that, if you're involved in a fight, for whatever reason, since Tim finally is tired of me, he decides to kill me one day. We engage in that fight. Do I want to fight his fight? No. Do I want to fight his rhythm? No. I don't. What is the best way to learn how to break somebody's rhythm in a fight? More specific. Learn how to coalesce with somebody's rhythm. Once you can figure out, once you're used to vibing with another person in these drills, that's one of the things that these drills teach. Then you know the when and the where and how to break that rhythm. So again, Uki's screwing up. Step in, punch, they do their thing, then they throw another punch. Okay. Then the next time it's boom, boom. You're screwing this person up. And it's also screwing up your rhythm. You gotta hit a rhythm. You need to work with your partner, no matter who that partner is. up here to teach class, right? One of the hardest things they have to learn is finding that rhythm for the class. You notice when we count, we're two different people, two different mindsets, two different internal strategies, two different backgrounds. We pretty much count in class the same. And it's really easy to break a class. You wanna screw a class up?
Hey,
Go, 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 go,
On.
and boom, yeah. So, you know, we'll play with that a little bit once in a while, cause you can get in that rhythm, you're like, and then they start anticipating, so you break your rhythm when you're counting, standing up here. So, I'm training, you're training, everybody's training, he's training, everybody's training. Right? But you need to find the rhythm first, before you can break the rhythm. Cool. Alright, number 3. Punching person is punching right hand. I do it. Just to give them something to deal with, make that second punch a lead hand back fist. There you go, just to give them something to do. Something, make sure you pull out to that command, I'll just stand there and take that back fist. It's begging for something to do.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, it's, ever since I learned number 3, I'm like, it is just absolutely begging for something. Alright, number 4. Yeah. Yeah. I do it.
Right? It's only two extra, right? It's only two extra, yeah.
Do you want to turn your body a little bit
I know that,
so that you can?
yes. Physically, it feels like you wanna do that, okay? I think for the drill, no. I think for the drill, no, because this is my understanding, and maybe you can, because we are out of the way, right? We don't need to emphasize too much and turn too much and put too much power on the block, because we're out of there. So this is what we're looking for.
Yeah, I'm
Yes, I
thinking
can
more
see
about
going
the-
over here and coming this way, I can see why we wanna do that, right? I sometimes I see it a lot. Everybody wants to do this. The other thing is they wanna put too much power on the block, but the movement itself takes you out of it. This is like almost, okay, it's there just in case, and load it from there.
I think
That's-
that's for the pumps.
That's my take, okay, on it, but you have something?
I agree wholeheartedly with what Shannon had to say. My personal opinion on number 3 and number 4, that hand is there in case you screwed up. That's that's the primary reason.
Right.
The secondary reason is, as Shannon demonstrated, was that heat deck. We're gonna disagree on personal strategy for 3 and 4, but we agree on the principle. My thing is that as I drop into that Chico, I'm not gonna load and punch. I'm going to do like a Sanshin abdominal roll and let you impale yourself on my fist as I drop out. So I don't really twist a whole lot for 3 and 4. I just use this sinking and just basically stick this in your way and you impale yourself on it. But again,
He can get away with it.
I can get away with it. Shannon, Eric can get away with it. Again, it's my personal strategy because I would rather be rooted than you prefer to be more mobile. His works, mine works. Pick yours, you'll find a different one.
If I can follow
Sure.
up on your point, one, impaling yourself on them, changes the timing a bit, so that you're actually firing that punch as they're still coming at you, along with when you're doing the block.
That is,
Blocking and then throwing.
that is the main difference of it, of
As you come out, it's already there, and it's just a spear for them to.
Because as we talked about before, what is the best block in the world?
Not being there.
Not being there. And that is what 3 and 4 is really teaching you, to not be there. Well, actually, all except 1 and 2 teach you that intentionality. 1 and 2 are the only two that really, everything else is slipping out of the wayside. It's easy to really drop out. Cool. Okay, go back to number 3. You do the same thing, but after that, as Uki comes in, throws first punch, throws second punch, both of you turn to Kamai, and I want Tori throw front kick, jab, reverse.
Well, let's see, Kenny, go face him. Brett, you step back and load, with your right hand. Alright, and let's do a 1 count, 1 move, H. 8. On. Alright, right there. Okay, who's the Tory?
Okay.
Yes. Remember.
Oh, that's right.
You receive, right? So right there, you're gonna front kick.
Lead leg.
Lead leg, baby.
Lead leg. This is Sean James. Lead leg. Always
Lead leg. Lead leg and 1, 2. Take that one hand, take that out.
There you
Okay? Right, or maybe get this out of the, I will get this out of the way. Keeping this hand here, if it's in the way or whatever. Alright, do it again. If you can't hit with the front leg, that means you took far away.
go. Do it 5 times each. How'd you rank?
There we go.
Is that what you were talking about?
I'm gonna make a little adjustment. Tori. Let's go back to them person giving you the back fist, okay? And Tori, once you make contact with the back fist, when you pull, then you do the kick and punch. Alright, so the uke is not going to reset and pull back.
Yes,
Alright, go. And, I think that's fine.
I like that better. No, I agree, this is better than both of them coming from my Brad, remember horse stance, not back stance.
We're gonna get those toes up for that front kick. Don't wait for it, after you do this, boom, boom. Hold, so when you make contact, go. You pull, yeah, pull it, pull up, pull up, yeah, right there, when you pull up, you got it, one more time. Right there you go, that was the time, one more time. That's all right, you get it, all right, you know what I'm talking about?
I see, one more time, please.
All right.
One last thing I wanna add to it. Still gonna do the same thing. As he comes into punch, now, he's being nice, we're all being kinda nice, cause if I slide over, if I would've missed that punch, he would've went maybe half of his fist into my abdomen. It'll hurt. Especially if you got a good target, it'll hurt a little bit. Really what he wants to do is set that distance, right? He wants to come out the other side. So if he's really coming, go slow, but I want you to go in that distance. As he comes in, here, look where he ends up here. This is good. There's all kind of nastiness that happens here. But if I've leaned and I've straightened that knee, and we end up at the same distance, that's gonna suck. Ask me how I know. That sucks. So when we're hitting
Did y'all
this
see
shit,
what was happening there with my knee on his, on his leg?
this is a bad trade. This is bad trade.
This one's good for me, I guess.
This, even if I screw up and he drives in here,
I got nothing.
we can, well, he doesn't have nothing, but he's got less than, we're kind of matched here. With me slightly advantaged because I'm taller than he is right at the
You
moment.
torque it that way and I'm gone.
But if we were more closely matched in size, that kind of evens out. Right? So yeah, that's one of the big reasons why we're not doing kokutsu. Oops, backstands. All right, questions, comments, concerns? Kokutsu?
He's okay. Come on your right. Get on your right. Talk on your right.
All right, just want to stop. All right, you're staying for Kabuto. Grab some water, get back on the floor within the next couple of minutes. If not, we'll let the next one. I'll figure it out.
necessary?
No, yeah, I'm not gonna sweat that, but not until we get a year of the choice. Well, I figured I would see how this worked, because gives them the choice if they wanna leave rather than just have to make them say. I think this will work for them. So everybody staying for Kabuto? Okay, then grab a bow. Hey, before you want to. I don't know, you saw the video recording of the presentation. We was talking about the kanji for Shiko, how we translated it sumo stance. He says actually actually Shiko is square. Okay. And we were trying to figure out why that is, whether or not they had, like a foot spine, you know, that kind of is. If this is a 90-degree angle, if they have the same concept of square, like a square angle that we do, or if they're talking about a four-point square. I'm thinking that is, and then you can have the front and back. Meaning of that is equal balance of that.
Okay.
And then you can equally go back up. I don't know, you know what I mean, like.
No, I see what you're saying, yeah. Kind of like the yin yang, maybe, spin it, make it three-dimensional kind of thing.
Yeah, so they go over here, they can go here, boom, boom, that, and that's the weak point, that's the strong point when it came to this thing. I don't know.
Just wanted to throw that out in case you
Okay.
because
Square.
I never heard of it. Like I said, the actual kanji for Shiko
These are for just.
translates as square.
I can't see it, right?
We understand probably even here more, because our feet will probably make,
Yeah.
right? We'll probably go more here than in the middle,
Yeah.
right?
Probably.
And then we can go finish this out from our toes, from the end of our toes going that way, right? Oh, okay.
Something to think about, this one, so I think we should, I had never heard that translation before, but he said, in no way does it mean sumo, or does it translate to sumo? Because actually, sumo was a lot longer than the word Shiko. So, you know Kabuto before?
Yes, sir.
Oh! Good, and let's do this. Alright, Brett Ken dropped in the back row. Is your name Brett or Ken, either one?
Yes, sir.
I didn't think so, move over there. Try to keep an eye on it. Alright, front row come for me just a little bit. Alright, for Kabuto, we start with the bow. For very specific reasons, most of which it's easier one to do because both hands are doing something at the same time. And the other weapons are, each hand is doing something different. Kabuto and karate are only different by about this much. At any point you're doing Kabuto, doesn't matter what Kabuto weapon you're doing, you should be able to take the weapon out of your hand and see whatever karate technique you're doing. Like one of the first things that we're gonna do is an overhead strike. If I drop the bow out, I've just done a lunge punch. That's all I've done. Okay. So what you do, bring the bow across your belly, basically in the middle of the bow, the middle of your obi. For now, I want your right palm up, left palm is down. You want your hands just outside your hips. Too wide, can't maneuver the bow. Too narrow, you've got no level. So right about the outside of your hips. It's pretty much ideal for everybody.
So do we end up alternating hands, is that curiosity, on left hand?
We will,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Good thing about Kabuto is very balanced. It's not like sword, it's usually all one side. What else? Oh. When using a bow, just like in karate, both hands are working, push-pull. We're gonna use whatever the back end of the bow is, basically as our sight. So anytime that we're gonna strike anything, we're gonna point the back end of our bow at whatever we're gonna strike. Okay? Doesn't matter, which hand is forward. The bow, in order to get power, must travel in a flat plane. It doesn't matter what that plane is, but it must be a flat plane. You can't make it like a conical section. You can't make it like rowing the boat. So if I'm gonna overhead strike, it moves in this plane. If I'm gonna do a horizontal strike, it moves in this plane. If I'm gonna do an angled strike, you set the angle and then strike, you don't maneuver it. You want this kind of thing. From here, I want you to step your left foot back, bring your right hand in front. This is our middle guard. You want the tip end of the bow, like chin, throat level. Your back hand about obi level. It's kind of a loose ikite. Your front hand has about a 45-degree curl to it. Because again, just like in karate, everything we do in Kabuto twists. So in order to use both sides of this twist, I don't want my wrist straight because now I can't go down, and I don't want it fully curled because I can't come up. So it needs to have just a little bit of a bend to it. Exactly. So from here, we're just going to start with an overhead strike. You're going to lift, basically put your right thumb on the top of your head, pointing the back end basically between your eyes in the mirror. You're going to strike out to basically the top of your head. As I strike out, I'm going to twist my hands. Bring the bow up under the armpit, palm down. It's the other way. There you go. And then drop back down to my come on. As I am striking, anytime you're striking with the bow, the lead hand is behind the bow. You're not ever pulling it, you're always pushing the bow. So if I'm doing an overhead strike, my hand is going to end up on top. If I'm doing a horizontal strike, my hand is on the back side of it. As we are striking with the bow, two places our backhand can be. We either end at our obi, where we started, or we're going to end up in our armpit. I'm going to define that better here in just a second. For the most part, if you can make this happen, this is going to be the ideal spot for it. But there's going to be a very specific way that we get here. We are not going to strike into the armpit. Because you're going to do just what I did while I was thinking about and talking about it. You're going to strike those lymph nodes, and it's going to hurt a lot. Again, you poke around in there, right in your armpit proper, it's skin right on top of your ribs and your arm bones. The only other thing in there is a whole bunch of lymph nodes and some nasty little pressure points. So we're not striking into the armpit. You have a choice. The way he described it was that as you're coming up here, you're going to touch your upper arm. And then as you twist, you're going to roll into it this way. More than welcome to keep trying that. I try it every once in a while, I can make it work. What I end up doing is, if you have some pretty decent lat muscle, you're going to catch, as you're making this same chicken wing motion, you catch the bow between the lat and your upper arm. So you never really strike anything. You just roll it into the lat to keep it in place. Alright, let's try it. From here. And back to come on. Eight.
Are you going to be coming on Mondays or Wednesdays?
Up. Takes you sooner. You're getting too deep into the armpit for my
I was
particular
actually,
purpose.
I was actually
You're getting a little too high into that bare armpit, so if you would slow it down, maybe, if you wanna try that. Okay, make it one smooth motion, and then come up. Hey, up. Thumb pointing that direction. Hey. Then. Hey. Up. Hey. Go. Go. See? Hut. Good. Good.
Hey!
Front stance is still a front stance. When I say turn the hand over, literally turn it over like a punch. The other thing is, it's bad in karate, it is just downright suicidal in kabuto. Anything that you stick out will get cut off, broke off, or bit off. Alright? Cure this habit now. Those of you that I'm seeing making the pointer finger, you haven't lived until you've taken a bow across that knuckle. Learn from my pain, learn from his pain. Stop doing this now. Alright, now, we're gonna switch sides. How we're gonna do that? Our backhand, our hikite hand, you're gonna bring between you and the bow. As your back foot comes to the front foot, you're going to lift up. Let your, what was your lead hand turn over. Step your right foot back, come on.
Step up, lift up. Step over the other foot and bring this to the other side. Just like that. Don't watch. In, up, back.
And now we're on this side. So we're gonna do that again. Between you and the bow, foot up, hand up. The hand is now on the bottom, turns over, step back, come up. Between you and the bow, lift up, stand up, turn the bottom hand over,
This way,
step back.
this way. And use the ball.
And then we'll turn that.
You'll be able to get where you need to go. Go like that. Bring the bottom side to your right.
Turn this hand over. Turn this hand over. Turn this hand over. There you go. All right, same thing, overhead strike. Ay. Brandon,
Yes.
turn your hand over. Same thing as the punch.
Yeah, I'd probably just wash it.
Hey. Hut.
Now on the back, after you've done the strike. With a
Sheet.
lift, turn the hand over and hit.
Oh.
Go back when you're done. Lift, and then turn the hand
Roll.
over it with your strike. And relax back.
Seat.
Lift, turn the hand over,
Hut.
relax back. It's big. Lift,
Hit.
strike. Don't do that.
Two.
And lock it back.
Hey. Move.
Strike. Lock it back.
Hey.
Do that. With this cut.
Hut. Sheet. Go. Roll.
Over the head, not over the shoulder.
Seat. Hut. Two. Two.
Hey?
When I'm talking about aiming with the back end of the bow, I mean literally I'm aiming at him this way, right? Those of you that are kind of just doing this, you're looking. You're inviting attack. From my end, if I just go here, he's just gonna come in. So one thing that this command posture does is as he comes in, I can at least get him a pause and get something between the two of us. Again, if I'm just like, maybe, this is my lunch. No? So literally aiming right at him, regardless of whatever strike I'm doing. I want the back end of that bow between us. And again, overhand strike. Hey! Hey! Son! Gee! Roll!
Okay. I don't know what it's called.
Oh.
But I did know.
See?
Well, no, I'm just saying,
Hey!
you should reach a level point.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be stopping up here.
Yeah.
Hey! There you go.
On tie. Right, the other side of your body.
Start over again, start over again. Take your hand out like you're gonna pull a gun, put it between this and this, just like you're gonna pull a gun out. Now, lift underneath it, stand up, turn the bottom hand, and then step away.
Okay, that's next lesson we're gonna work on. All right, where are we at? We're here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna yamen. So what I want you to do is you're gonna bring your back foot to your front foot. You're gonna bring the bow to your right side, tuck it under your arm. Behind your arm. Behind your arm. The other behind your arm. There we go. Good. Poof. Budo, done from that. Questions on our introduction to Budo?
For the strikes and such, or are there any hip twists?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's the part of karate and kabuto, is finding out where that sweet spot is for your hip. Yes, absolutely. Everything that you do in karate, you do in kabuto. The only difference is you're making an allowance for the left. That's it. Anything else? Try it. Am I staying for taijutsu or you can take it off? All right, put those away. Okay, in the beginning, martial arts master said it would be this way. In the beginning, you guys are kind of starting to dabble into multiple arts. Making your brain a file for, everybody's fine where they are. File for karate, a file for kabuto, and a file for taijutsu. For now, make them separate files. If you start trying to blend them too soon, it makes bad karate, bad taijutsu, bad kabuto. Eventually, it will all become, as Sean James says, karajitsu, and it will become more stuff. But for now, don't karate up to taijutsu, and don't taijutsu up to karate. In the beginning, karate appears to be very linear, very power-oriented. Taijutsu in the beginning appears to be very soft and very circular. Neither one of those statements is true, but you will find out as you grow in both arts. The big thing with taijutsu, we talk about it in karate, but it is absolutely imperative in taijutsu is to be relaxed. You cannot do stiff taijutsu and expect it to work on any level. That's why in the beginning it appears soft. There are two basic principles of taijutsu that are not immediately taught in karate. It's harder to see in karate. One is the wave function. In karate, we talk about a level hip. In taijutsu, you can actually let your hip drift into this wave function. There are very few things that we do in a flat plane in taijutsu. Everything has this wave function to it. The other thing is that taijutsu, the power from taijutsu comes from the bisection of a circle. Whether you make a circle and you bisect it with a straight line, or you bisect it with a circle. Everything makes a circle and then is bisected by that in some way. Good thing about taijutsu, there's only one stance and only one cut.
I feel like I almost know it.
Okay, which is, both are true statements, by the way, for the most part. So, our stance. Basically, you're gonna just take one natural step forward, whatever that is for you. For most people, we end up kind of heel-toe-ish, more or less. And you want a slight angle to your hip. You don't want to be square. So you can have a little bit of an angle to your hip. Like if you were in your cat stance in karate and you just stood up, there you are.
Change feet. Do what everybody else does.
Now you're comfortable. Okay? This is your stance. This is the only stance in taijutsu. Right here. Now, from here, I just want you to bring your hands up into an open hand posture. Just an open hand, come on. We start day one, minute one, learning how to relax. And we do that by learning how to dance. So, what you're going to do, okay, ignore the hands for just a second. You're just going to step forward and step back. That's all we're going to do. Boom, boom, boom. Now, as we do that, the hands are going to drop down, circle up, drop down, circle back. Everybody do that. Now, while I'm talking, I want everybody to look at these two. Okay, you'll notice that it is not step forward, pause, 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 step back, pause, 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 pause. This is one fluid motion. Now, the hands are going to maintain their shuko position. And they're going to make this arcing motion. You're not going to get evil wizard hands. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to make this half moon as we're going. Right, relax the shoulders, let the hands go a little bit more. Bring it not out back with the hands. Down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up.
Notice as I go forward, my hand actually reaches out farther away from me. It's not staying exactly the same spot. It's actually reaching forward.
Again, Brandon, not out back. Up, down, half move.
Is the body doing the wave, or just the hand?
Not really pronounced, but more like that. Again, I like to keep everything except the hands. I want you to firm the hands up more like you're going to shoot up there. We go. It drives me crazy in karate. It drives me absolutely insane in taijutsu. Don't stick fingers and thumbs out. Keep the hands together. Again, trust me, anything you stick out in the fire, you're going to get cut off, bit off, shot off, or broke off. Right, this isn't about power. This is about smooth. Now, when the mood strikes you here coming up, on a back side, I want you to switch feet, switch hands, come forward with your right foot. There we go. Good. about earlier in karate, you learn how to break rhythm by learning how to be in rhythm with somebody. In taijutsu, I guess I should have started with this. Taijutsu is the grappling art of the samurai. When they were on the battlefield, they ran out of arrows, the spear broke, the horse died, and they busted their katana off into somebody else, and the only thing they had left were their fists and their feet. That's where the taijutsu came from. It is based off of the sword work. So, just like in Kabuto, you should be at any moment, be able to take the weapon away, see the karate technique. So in taijutsu, at any moment, you should be able to freeze, put a sword in your hand, and show me the sword technique. What we're doing, that's where it comes from. That's why it's more circular, and it's a grappling art. It is the mother art of the rest of the jitsus, the jujitsu, the judo, you know, and the Brazilian, you know, all that stuff. It's kind of the mother art, aikido, aikijitsu, all of those. Its function is to break things, it's not to capture things, like, you know, submission jujitsu or something like that. It can be used for that, but that's not its purpose, that's how that necessarily do that. So we spend a lot of time working with other people. So in order to learn how to manipulate another person, you learn how to flow with another person. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. You hopefully do that. I want you to front row, turn around, face the rear row, then do what we're doing.
Okay.
Right foot, right hand towards each other, with the back of your hands touching one another. The dancing that we were just doing, you're gonna do with your partner. So somebody goes forward, somebody goes back, and it's that same rhythmic back and forth. All right, how do you make?
Usually if you're gonna be the one that's initiating, just give a little click to it and make it push forward.
Okay, so let the hands turn, keep the same circular motion going on the front.
Hands go out, hands go in, hands go out, hands go in. Just relax. The more rigid you make it, the tireder you'll get. And the less fluid, right, the fluidity makes it work well. Right now, basically, you're just feeling each other's
Okay, so for the
presence.
most part, you're just kind of rocking back and forth. I want you to come forward to establish a new position, and then step back to fully, yeah, that way.
Good, real fun. Your back hand needs to go out with the front hand. You're gonna have a tendency to leave that back hand alone, and only with the front hand, which is bad. You wanna move them together, so they're not.
Something, I'm not sure if he's leading you into that bad habit, or if you're leading him, but you're just kind of, you're both pressing straight back and forth, hands go to
When you go forward, you're allowing that back foot to turn too much, and it's almost like an anchor, like you're dragging it. So take it, turn it forward a little bit, and bring it to.
Now, with the loose strides, switch sides. We'll get to how to do that smoothly once I laugh at you guys and bring this initiative thing.
Whoever's gonna start, give a little tug, and then you create the lift. There you go.
This is grand.
Keep the elbows low, don't let it go off to the side.
You guys can, you're just kind of rocking back and forth on your feet. Go forward, establish, go back, establish.
Doesn't have to be fast, just needs to be consistent.
Make sure you're keeping both feet more or less in contact with the ground. Brandon, when you're going back, I'm seeing daylight under your front foot. So he's gonna sweep it out of the way and bounce on top of your head. If he doesn't, I will at some point. Yeah, man. Ooh, wasn't that fun? Whoever thought dancing is not part of karate, or martial arts, I should say. For this drill, for this dancing drill, it gets more involved, but this is just basic day one. You're establishing a complete position at both ends. It's not, this foot is still moving, this foot is still moving, this foot, that's not what we're doing. You are fully establishing a position, and you are fully establishing a position. Because like we talked about in basics with karate, you are shortening the time at those apexes so that eventually it just looks like one motion. you know? We're definitely not doing that as a lot of people like to do. We're fully forward, established, fully forward, fully back to the seat.
So should it feel, because it does feel a little bit like a pendulum in that my upper body is staying a little more still than my lower body.
Yes.
Because if I come all the way forward, then I'm going.
No, the feeling of,
Should be.
from the waist up, you're still. From the waist down is where the motion is for this, except in the arms, because the arms are making that half movement motion. Cool? Yeah, questions on Taijutsu?
That's all.
So, is this completely out of the picture on Taijutsu? You said we- You always know
Yoda,
it's-
no, it's just when we're standing around, Yoda's fine. It's just not.
Not separate from Kevin?
You'll work into what it really turns out to be
Yeah.
after a little while, basically.
I like it.
There was no official, this is the stance.
Standing around talking, sure, Yoda is always a good thing to start with. It's not formal stance in Taijutsu. This would be the best way I can describe it. We'll get to that when we start writing about that. The joke about there only being one kata. There is only one kata in Taijutsu. It is taught in 9 parts, and it is the same kata that you will learn for open hand, sword, spear, knife, Manrican. It is only one kata. This has to be reviewed long, so we break it into 9 parts. Cool? Cool. Thank you. Well, the night.